Hello folks, I followed the instructions on the FORD forum to get this off, and it was really easy. You can see you leave all the arms in place. You can even leave the drop link thingies in place. And the first bush, as you can see, reach it and it fell straight out, so it was pretty fucking knackered. Yep. And then I saw on an American website getting the bushes out, because I bought the nylon inserts, that you could just set fire to them. So good old WD-40. I've soaked the spongy rubbers in it because I couldn't get them out with just giving it a whack, and I've set fire to them, and they're burning like a bitch. Look, I'm quite enjoying this. The only downfall is my car's over there, which is a bit blurry. That's it, it's better. It's blurry, but it's starting. It's actually started to get dark. But it was really easy. Anyone that wants to do the rear subframe bushes on their Mondeo, disconnect the exhaust. You don't need necessarily to drop it, because I didn't. Undo the arm bolts on the end. Obviously jack the car up so that the wheels ain't on the floor. Undo the bolt arms on the end. You need an Allen key in the end of the bolt to hold the ball joint still. You can see it there better, but it's a bit dirty. Yeah, take the bolt, take this off, remove all the bolts like that. Finally, through the centre of that bush, there is a bolt that goes through it. A couple of blocks of wood to hold the weight of it. Undo the bolts, lower it down on the jack. You might have to move it backwards and forwards a bit to get it out. It's out. I'm going to burn these out tonight. Hopefully knock them out tonight. And once I've done that, I'm packing up. And then tomorrow, I shall put the nylon washers, the nylon bushes in it. I'll show you the nylon bushes now, because I bought them on eBay for 20 quid for a complete set. An absolute complete set. Bargain. So as you can see, the exhaust is still hanging down there. The exhaust is still there. I just undid the bushes and dropped it round it. Yep. Nylon bushes are in here. Nuts and bolts in the back of my car, so I don't lose them in my first day box, believe it or not. Set of nylon bushes on eBay with new washers and the centre bits and the washers to go with it. £19.95. Bargain. There you go, look, so there's the exhaust hanging down. All I did was the back bracket and the middle bracket there. I've got a stainless steel exhaust, which as you can see is welded together at the joints, complete all the way through. So I didn't want to damage the flexios by letting it hang too much. So there's one more bracket, which is under here. There, I left that one on, so that it still holds the weight of it. So it doesn't affect the flexios too much, because if you snap that, it's all 85 quid. 85 quid. Let's just see how they're burning. In fact, they're going out in a minute. I might have to spray a bit more WD on them just to burn them through a bit more. I'll let that soak in for a minute. I'll say ta-da, because I'm going to start packing my tools up and I'll carry this on tomorrow. But look at those darlings. I'm still amazed at how easy that one came out though, to be fair. It just fell out. One whack with the hammer, and then I'm going to clean all that round tomorrow, because with them type of nylon bushes, you leave the old seat. This is actually the old seat of the original bush. You leave that in. You clean it all up, you put a bit of copper grease on it, and you just whack the nylon bushes in it. Lovely jubbly, job done. Thank you. Bye. Right, it is dark officially, and like a lolly, I'm still out here. If you look, that one I've just burnt and punched out. That one I've just burnt. That one's the first one, sorry, I didn't burn that one. These two I've burnt and I've punched them out, and now, because there's enough WD-40 left in them, because I run out in the can, and there's plenty soaked into rubber, I've set fire to what rubber's left in there to burn it out. It's actually fucking quite hot to keep me warm. But I don't think it's not very good light now. But that's the subframe, and that's the rubbers burning out. And I can't do much more now, I've just got to leave that to burn out for a bit. It's pretty toxic smoke, so I'll try not to breathe it in. And you're best off doing it when your neighbours ain't got no washing out as well, because you're going to get in the shit otherwise. I'm fucking enjoying this. Hello folks, my name's Dave, but my nickname's #Dad, for Ladies Quest of course. I'm just giving a quick update on what I've done with my Mark III 53 plate Mondeo subframe. I took it off, nice and easy. Look on the Ford forums, there's pictures showing you what bolts to undo. You've only actually got to undo 10 bolts. And I didn't even take the exhaust off, I put it to one side because it's a complete unit. So I just pulled off the last 2 brackets, left the middle one on to protect the flexios and pushed it across. Obviously I put my car up onto wheel ramps first and then used some blocks on a trolley jack on the actual rear subframe, jacked it up, undone the plastic covers from underneath on the chassis, just past the end of the petrol tank on both sides, put a chock of wood on top with some axle stands, chopped the front wheels both sides so the car can't roll, jacked it up off the wheel ramps, put the axle stands under, left the wheel ramps there in case, and lowered it down slowly until I had it onto the axle stands. A little tip, just gently rock the car, make sure the bases of the axle stands ain't moving. If they are, the side that's moving, tap it with an hammer to bring it off level and then wobble the car a little bit again. You'll see what I mean when you do it. If you do, that it will just settle the axle stands properly, and because you put wood on the top it will dent in and support the car better rather than it being able to slide around on the metal with the axle stand. Once I'd got all the bolts undone, all the 10 bolts undone, I got to one side of the car, the side without the exhaust on it, pulled the strut out towards me and let the subframe down to the floor, and literally I just pulled it out from the exhaust to one side. I used a socket, which is an impact socket on the end of the bush. Again, if you look on the Ford forums, it shows you which way they come out. They come out the cupped way, but if you've got the proper Ford inserted bushes in there, it's hard to see which way it is to go. So have a look on the Ford forums and you'll see that which way to punch them through. The first one I punched straight through because it was knackered. The other 3, I sprayed WD-40 on it, set fire to it and burnt it, turned it over, set fire to it, burnt it, turned it over. I used about 3/4 of a can of WD on it. Once they were burnt enough, I punched them out using an impact socket again on the rub on the metal. I learnt the burning bit on an American website watching them do bushes on a Mustang, and it actually did work really well because it made it soft enough to break through. Then I sprayed a bit more WD-40 on the rubber that was left inside the cups. If you're using nylon inserts as I am, you need to leave the metal cups in there and not take them out because they are what the nylon bushes will seat into. And I set fire to it again, burnt the rest of the rubber out. It's dark now, I need a shower, I'm hungry and a cup of tea. I'm really enjoying this. It's been ages since I got mucky under a car. Happy days. I'll update some more tomorrow when I put it all back together. Hello folks, I'm softening the nylon bushes on my oven, on my cooker, I mean indoors, in my saucepan. I'm going to die, I know. Does your missus let you do this? Fat chance. Then I'll take them downstairs in the saucepan and keep them in the water to keep them soft while I copper grease it. It started to rain again unfortunately, and then I'm just going to knock them in with a rubber mallet. They should knock in fairly straightforwardly. Thank you, bye. There you go, as I said, saucepan on a wooden table with a few blocks, 1 bush fitted. Not difficult, it was nice and warm, loads of, well not loads, but copper grease inside just to slide it through, copper grease to push the metal shim in the middle with a rubber mallet. Doddle, you can do it, it's not as bad as it looks. Right folks, there you go. It started to rain and now the sun's come back out again, thank God. I've got all of the bushes in. They look a bit messy, but that's just where I put the grease on to pop them through, and then pushed the shim bits through the middle. One side was quite tight for them, so I ended up using a clamp to push them halfway in, and I have actually got a puller, which is one of these with all the attachments like that. With all the attachments like that, put it down so you can see it. And I used that semi to pull it through, but you could use a bolt and 2 big washers, similar sort of bolt like that, maybe with thread along it, to pull it through. It doesn't go all the way through because it's not that long, so I'm assuming it either goes at the bottom or the top. I'd say probably more at the bottom. This is the top, the bottom, like that. Now I'm just going to lift the subframe up to the car using the trolley jack. I've also noticed that these drop links are quite knackered, and that ball there, as you can see, the shims come off and the ball actually popped out just now, so I've just ordered 2 new ones for that as well. Happy days. There you go folks, all back together, all in place, all looking lovely. new drop links, all ready to go. If you've got any questions and you want some advice, give me a call, or should I say send me an email and I'll help you. Have a nice day. Bye.